Episode 4 of Doctor Who Season 15 starts with the TARDIS touching down on Earth in New Year's, 2007. A kid called Conrad is here, and the Doctor hands over a 50p piece. This sets into motion a series of events that grip the modern day as Conrad works to try and learn more about the Doctor, specifically in bringing Ruby Sunday into his studio as a guest on his podcast to talk about the Doctor. Conrad actually saw the blue box again in 2024, but this time things wound up crazier. He discovered something called the Shriek, which spits strange green venom that serves as a pheromone. Conrad wound up with some of his shoulder, and he even snapped a picture of the TARDIS and Ruby Sunday. Ruby explains that the Doctor is a special guy, and as they talk, we see that Conrad is super clumsy. He's awkward around her, but as they talk, it turns out Conrad is in trouble. Remember that green goo that got on him a year prior? Well, turns out that actually marks him as prey for this creature. If UNIT hadn't caught the Shriek when they did, he'd be in big trouble. Thankfully, Ruby has that antidote, which she just seems to have kept with her all this year. She hands it over to Conrad. He agrees to take it, but only if they go for dinner together. Whilst eating, Conrad discusses how his mum died of liver cancer when he was younger, and it affected him quite a bit. They open up about the Doctor too, and eventually the pair hit it off and wind up in a relationship together. When Conrad and Ruby head out on a weekend together, there's strange electrical interference that sees everything glitching out. She's concerned and rings UNIT, but there doesn't appear to be anything untoward. Kate encourages her to relax and enjoy her night, but it does seem like there's something up. The Shriek is still alive and locked in containment for the time being at UNIT, but over at the pub, the Shriek is out there, stalking Conrad and Ruby. Turns out Conrad never took the antidote because he wanted to be brave like the Doctor. Ruby is not happy and heads out alone to take out the Shriek. Conrad joins her in the hunt, just as UNIT show up en masse to take out the Shriek. Only then we learn the truth. Turns out this isn't the Shriek after all. It's a big cover-up by a couple of Conrad's friends duping UNIT into coming out of hiding. They've created a group called Think Tank, and they expose the lies perpetuated by UNIT. They're live streaming right now to confirm that there aren't any monsters after all. Kate has them all arrested, which is a stupid move because it riles up the public into joining Conrad's side. As a result, he name and shames everyone from UNIT to expose their dictatorial ways. The effects are so pronounced that the government wind up under pressure to explain why they're funding UNIT too. Ruby, though, sees this as a play for power, a way for Conrad to maneuver his way into UNIT, given he actually applied for a job. There 8 years ago. Even worse, though? Conrad's mum isn't dead and our antagonist has 80,000 paid subscribers, which actually isn't a lot, let's be honest. Conrad also dodges paying taxes, and his motivation appears to be attention and power. There's an inside mole at UNIT called Jordan Lang. He helps Conrad in the building, who shows up at the main control room. Conrad has a body cam and he calls them all liars, demanding to see the truth. Kate refuses, though, and everybody is shocked when they find out Lang is in intensive care. Kate decides to let the Shriek out, and it stalks around the building after Conrad. They watch as it stalks him, and eventually Ruby steps up and shocks it, just as Conrad admits that yes, he did lie because this creature is very real. It does eventually grab his arm and bite, but the Shriek is eventually transferred. Jordan Lang is also still alive, but Kate's moral compass is certainly skewed here, but it's never really called out. Kate and Ruby part ways, as she decides she needs to let the Doctor go. As for Conrad, he's arrested, but he's also visited by the Doctor, pre-Belinda in the timeline, who brings him on board the TARDIS. He admits Conrad is special for the wrong reasons, and chews him out for being a coward. Conrad more than holds his own, though, telling the Doctor to get off his world. But when he's back in his cell, we see that Mrs. Flood is the governor of the prison and holds a set of keys too.